Hey, what's up? It's Tony Angelo. This is my Stay Tuned YouTube channel. And if you watched in the last video, my buddy Tbird down in Florida let me rip around in his Aston Martin DBS. It's got a nasty V12. It's one of the coolest sounding cars I've ever heard. Woo! Dude. And I posted up on my Instagram about it. My Instagram is Tangelo96. If you guys want to check me out over there. And here's the thing. My buddy Mike Napp, who owns Englishtown Raceway Park in New Jersey, and it's, you know, one of the raddest motorsports facilities on the East Coast, hit me up and was like, do you want an Aston Martin V12? I sort of have one laying around. You can have it. I'd like to see somebody do something cool with it. And I was like, yes, I do. Of course I want that. Listen, if anyone ever tries to give you a dope exotic car engine that's all in one piece, you say yes. So today we have cruised over to New Jersey. We're in beautiful Old Bridge, and I'm gonna see about picking this engine up. It should be a 5.9 liter V12 from like a late 90s DB7, making about 420 horsepower. We're gonna get it, and then we're gonna think about what cool car we could cram it into. All right, we are almost there. This is Mike Napp. He's one of the owners of Englishtown Raceway Park, which is like sacred ground. Obviously, we love it here. It's one of the raddest places on earth, especially for drifting. And we have been, you know, I'm building a 240, which we've been doing on the channel. Nice. Coming back, swinging soon. But he offered up this Aston Martin V12 from the late 90s, and they're pretty gnarly. It's a 5.5, I did a little research. Okay. It should be like 5.9 liter, 420 horsepower. Okay. It's pretty burly. Okay. And it's all aluminum, and it's exotic, and it should, well, really the whole thing is the sound, right? It's the sound. Oh my God. Amazing. And this is your dad. Tell the story.
Back in the, well, my father, you know, built Raceway Park, right?
Yes.
So it's kind of interesting. When they were young teenagers, they were street racers, believe it or not. And then, you know, decided to build a track in the early 60s with his brother and his father. Yeah. And, you know, as you can see, the rest is sort of history. Yeah. But he always liked building street rods and hot rods. And back in the day, he had a 55 Tbird and drag raced it up at Island Dragway. And there's, you know, there's tons of stories about all that. Focused on this for probably 40 more years. You know, just bringing the track up to the level that it is and so on. But then, you know, as he got a little older, he's late 50s, early 60s, he decided to build street rods again, do some crazy things. He had a friend of his who was connected to Ford Motor Company, and I guess the way it works is if they test vehicles, when they're done, they get dismantled, sold for weight, blah, blah, blah. So he had, you know, the ability to pick up select pieces of that stuff before it got crushed and melted down and what have you. Got it. So in the mid-late 90s, he took advantage of that opportunity and picked up a whole bunch of different motors. He built a bunch of hot rods, street rods and stuff with a lot of the motors that he had. There were a lot of 4-valve Cobra motors and that style. And then he had two pretty nutty ones. And one was this Aston Martin, and they're all runners. All the motors are runners. Yeah, awesome. And then he picked up a Jag one that I think we talked about a little bit. A really badass Jag. Engineers built a Jag motor. Yeah. You can't have it. Is it here? Just kidding. No, it's not. Oh, okay. It's actually home in my basement because I'm actually fond of that one. That thing was made, I think, to run 8,000 or 9,000 RPM all day. Yeah, tubular headers and everything. It's a pretty neat motor. Just looking for the right place to put that. You know. Anyway, so we're getting down to the last couple motors, and you know, this has been there, and I really can't imagine what to do with it. I know you do a lot of great things, a lot of crazy things. I think you find something. Here's the challenge.
It's all. I mean, it's physically large. I was toying with the idea of putting it into like so the sound is insane, but I'd love it to be like a good handling American car, like an '85 Mustang GT or something, or like a Thunderbird, like something cool from the you know, this kind of era Fox body platform, but it's physically enormous. I'm gonna have to like really see if that's possible.
I have a tape measure, so you know.
We'll figure it out. I mean, you know, just the idea of getting it in and having this kind of motor run around in the street, because you can make those cars handle pretty good. You know, there's a lot of kits. There's some 3-link kits, and you can get the rear ends to really work. So that's the idea.
Yeah, picking the car is going to be a big part.
Yeah, I think it'll be really cool though, because again, like just dude, Tbird's car was like the best sounding car I've ever had. Like control of, maybe.
It's an Aston Martin. Who plays with that?
It's so cool.
It's like,
Well, you texted me. You were like, "Hey, I have one of these laying around." I was like, "Get out."
yeah.
I was like, "What are you saying?"
It's a shame that it hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
But hey, you know, timing's everything. You've got the ability to do some stuff now, and
Yeah.
there it is. And gosh, I mean, who knows, dude? What's got a big enough engine?
Well, yeah, I'll have to measure. I'll grab a Fox body and see what makes sense and what's possible. You know, we can move metal around and stuff.
Yeah,
we can make
you
stuff
do a
happen.
lot. You do a lot of cool things.
A lot of move, a lot of stuff around. All right, well let's get loaded up.
All right, let's
Awesome,
do it.
dude.
Let's do it. Good stuff.
Dude, you are. This guy rules on camera.
All right, tell me what you know about this thing.
Oh, so here's what I know about this engine. It makes 420 horsepower, blaze it, and that's it, pretty much. I know it's from Britain. I know that we won a war against them, and that somehow Ford owned them, or they owned Ford, or together something. Look, this says Ford, IAC valve. This looks like a Mustang throttle body, sure. Right? So that part's good. It's American. Ford EGRs, Ford oil cap, and it's a giant hunk of aluminum. That's all I really know. And it's got 12. I know it has 12 cylinders, and they're in a V. So all good. That's how you want them, in a V. So we've got that Aston Martin V12 in my shop now. The snake pit loaded up, came out of my truck, and just trying to sort of figure out what to do with this thing, right? So here's what I know. I can't afford an Aston Martin, but I can build what I want, right? It's got a ton of Ford parts on it, so it feels like I should build a Ford car. But what I wanted to do is feel sort of like an Aston Martin. I want it to handle good. I want it to look sweet. I want it to be like a grand touring, pro touring car, sort of in the vein of all those sweet Astons that, again, I'm not buying. So here's what I'm thinking. Ford Thunderbird from the 80s. Nice, kind of a good looking car. Lincoln Mark 7, same thing. Big, Fox body, Fox chassis cars. 85 Mustang would be cool. But listen, I'm open to suggestions. I'm not gonna touch this car for a while. We've got a lot going on with the 240 and other stuff. So when this video comes out, get in the comments and tell me what you think we should build, and I'll consider it. Because, you know, the world is wide open. I figured out one thing. There's a QuickTime bell housing, and I can put a GM T56 on here. So we know it's going to be 6-speed, V12 car, sounding insane, probably making 450 horsepower. So it's going to be a really fun car, and I can't wait to get it done. But we got to find that car first. We got to figure it out. So find me in the comments. That's it for this episode of Stay Tuned. Thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next time.